What the star of YouTube, this is Heritage here. Just wanted to cover a breaking story on Bounding Into Comics in relation to Jim Lee breaking his silence over what's happened with DC in relation to all the cuttings that's been going on from AT&T. I took a rake of screenshots from the site so you can get the gist to the story. But to be honest with you, it's not really worth reading an awful lot of what he said because he's really deep into corporate speak. Like it's illustrated to me that he's fallen right down the corporate rabbit hole because an awful lot of stuff he's talking about is stuff like blue sky thinking and thinking outside the box and blah, blah, blah. I mean, there are elements of what he's actually talking about don't make any sense whatsoever to anyone. It's almost political speak. But what I absolutely had to cover was it's absolutely shocking revelation that 25% of DC lines doesn't make any money. Think about that, lads. 25%, a quarter of the comics out there either aren't breaking even or they're actually losing a lot of money. You know, I can't think of a more stark example that confirms what I was saying in my last video, that these publishing houses have basically become indulgent pits for the political activism of people. You know, if you're in the situation where 1 in 4 of your products isn't making money, you're not a business. So I'm absolutely shocked that he will admit in an interview that that's the state of affairs in the company that he's running. In fact, a lot of what he said in this interview is it's actually so shocking that I think he probably should have waited a bit longer. I think he might be in shock himself in relation to what's going on at the company, because some of the stuff he's talking about where DC is going, he's confirmed pretty much everything that was said in the Bleeding Cool article in relation to, well, DC Direct for one thing. That's gone. But there is indeed going to be a consolidation of the line. I think you can reckon those 25% books, they're all gone. So that's a quarter of the line gone already. And they do indeed seem to be gearing towards concentrating more on digital and young adult. What's really interesting in this article, though, and the last two screenshots that I take, so if you want to have a read of them yourself, just to see, make sure I'm just, seeing things. He seems to be saying, he does a great talk about wanting more diversity and inclusion in the comic books, but what it seems to translate to me is he wants to hire an awful lot of third world people to do the comic books and then sell it in America. I mean, it's dressed up in the most PC language you can possibly think of, but it definitely does seem like he's looking to exploit, third world artists. And is hoping to bring in cheaper, probably less well-known people in order to supplant people who are already working in the States. So if I was an American artist or American writer, I'd be getting worried about what's going on in my position in DC. Like I said, read those screenshots. There's no way out of what he's saying there. He wants to, like you said, he's talking about diversity, he's talking about inclusion, but it seems to me that he just wants to concentrate on people outside of America to produce American comic books, with a focus on mainly distributing the books now digitally, which means the store owners in America are pretty much fecked too. Pretty much seems to be the only interpretation you can take from what he's just said. So, like I said, only a short video. I just wanted to cover what's going on. This is breaking news. Only went up on Bounding Into Comics earlier on. John F. Trent is the author, so give it a click, have a good read, see what you think of it yourself. And if you like this video, like and subscribe, leave a comment below about what you think about this. I think it's shocking. I can't get over that. Like 25% of the product that DC produces, and it doesn't make money. That's just amazing. The place where I work would shut down if we had that type of margin. And I think it's a damning indictment as to how the industry has actually been run for the last 10 years or so. So there you go, guys. Bit of breaking news there now. Have a good one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.